Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 27 of our Revenue Cycle Management Explainer series. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because, let's be honest, we're tackling a topic that trips up a lot of people. But by the end of this session, you're going to be an absolute expert. Today is your definitive guide to mastering CO23 denials, which you might know as primary paid maximum. We're going to break down the math, the workflows, and the exact steps you need to take as an AR associate to resolve these with total confidence. Okay, let's dive right into our agenda. We'll be decoding primary paid maximum, walking through the 3 adjudication cases, mapping out the resolution workflow, looking at our AR caller note template, and finishing up with a quick CO23 knowledge check. We're going to use our trusted analyst framework to conquer this step by step.
All right, Section 1, Decoding Primary Paid Maximum. Let's get right into the concept.
So, what exactly is this? The official description for Claim Adjustment Reason Code CO23 is the impact of prior payer's adjudication, including payments and/or adjustments. But what does that mean in plain English? Basically, this denial fundamentally means that the primary payer has already paid more money than what the secondary payer actually allows for that specific procedure. The secondary payer looks at the primary payment and essentially says, wow, okay, they already paid you more than our contracted rate allows, so we're definitely not paying anything additional on top of that. Now, here's a vital rule of thumb you need to remember. A CO23 denial should only be received from a secondary payer. Literally, if you ever see a primary payer issuing this specific denial on a primary claim, a massive red flag should go up immediately. That means the payer thinks someone else is primary. In that scenario, the patient urgently needs to update their coordination of benefits, or COB, with their insurance. Otherwise, if you've got a healthy billing cycle, this is strictly a secondary payer situation. Moving right along to Section 2, 3 adjudication cases. This is our evaluation phase. And now, what's really interesting about this is how visual math becomes our absolute best tool. I seriously want you to burn this into your memory. There are exactly 3 mathematical cases you're going to encounter when comparing the primary paid amount to the secondary allowed amount. In case 1, the primary paid amount is greater than the secondary allowed amount. The denial is spot-on accurate, and it results in a provider write-off. Now, in case 2, the primary paid amount is less than the secondary allowed amount. Here, the denial is actually invalid. They messed up. You need to request reprocessing. And finally, in case 3, the primary paid perfectly equals the secondary allowed. The denial is valid, and once again, it's a provider write-off. So you see, it always comes down to just greater than, less than, or equal to.
Let's clarify the financial impact of all that math. For valid denials, that's cases 1 and 3, your healthcare provider has already received the maximum allowable amount under that secondary contract. Therefore, you have to route these over to your payment posting team for a contractual write-off or adjustment. But for invalid denials, like case 2, the secondary payer mathematically still owes money to the provider to make up the difference. They are absolutely financially responsible for that balance.
All right, Section 3, Resolution Workflow and Decisions. We're moving into the action phase now. Check out how this logic flow perfectly maps out exactly what you need to do on the job. You start at the top by verifying the primary insurance allowed and paid amounts, then you verify the secondary insurance allowed amount. That diamond right there in the middle, that's your key decision point. Is the primary paid amount greater than or equal to the secondary allowed? If yes, you follow the path to the right. Write it off and post your notes. If no, you follow the paths to the left. Reprocess the claim. Sticking to this flow guarantees you're going to make the right choice every single time. And this brilliantly illustrates just how streamlined your workflow is once the math is done. Step 1. Pull up and compare your primary and secondary explanation of benefits, your EOBs. Step 2. If the math proves it's a valid denial, boom, route it straight to payment posting. Step 3. If the math proves the denial is invalid, you contact the payer to demand your claim be reprocessed. Literally just 3 steps. That's the whole shebang. Okay, listen up, because I want to share a massive efficiency tip with you. Non-call resolution. Calling insurance companies takes so much time, right? We've all memorized that awful hold music. Well, you can save hours of your day by using these rules. As long as you can review both the primary and secondary EOBs online or in your system, and you see it's case 1 or case 3, you just adjust it without ever picking up the phone. You only call the payer if the denial is invalid, like in case 2, because that's literally the only time you actually need a representative to manually push the claim back through for reprocessing. Moving to Section 4, the AR Caller Note Template. This is our documentation phase. Whenever you're documenting your actions in the billing system, I highly recommend using this standardized template. It ensures flawless tracking. Now, a major rule here. Always scrub proprietary names from your notes. Do not write the specific name of your software, the clearinghouse, or personal identifiers outside of that basic rep name placeholder. Keeping it clean, generic, and mathematically focused makes it incredibly easy for an auditor or a teammate to read your note and instantly understand exactly why a balance was adjusted or sent back for reprocessing.
And finally, Section 5, the CO23 Knowledge Check. Let's move to this and see how this builds, locking in everything we've just learned.
I want you to treat this like a real quiz. Question 1. What does a CO23 denial fundamentally mean? Is it A, service not covered, B, primary paid more than secondary allowed, C, patient ineligible, or D, coding error? Take a second and lock in your answer. All right, let's look at question 2. Think back to that visual math framework from earlier. In case 2, where the primary paid amount is less than the secondary allowed amount, what is your required action? A, bill the patient, B, write off the balance, C, request claim reprocessing, or D, wait 30 days. Lock it in.
And question 3, let's test your retention on those non-call resolution rules to maximize your AR efficiency. When handling a CO23, when is the only time you actually need to call the secondary payer? A, every time you see CO23, B, only when requesting reprocessing, C, when the primary paid is higher, or D, never.
So the crucial point is knowing how to apply what you've learned. Let's see how you did. For Q1, CO23 means B, primary paid more than secondary allowed. For Q2, if the primary paid less, the answer is C, request claim reprocessing, because that denial is totally invalid. And for Q3, you only pick up the phone for B, when you are actually requesting that claim reprocessing. If you got all 3 right, congratulations, you're well on your way to mastering this. Just think about your current queue. How many hours could you save tomorrow just by applying the non-call resolution rule we learned today? Share and subscribe for free courses on Decode Healthcare with Harshal.